Yo, what's up? Um, well, so new week of quarantine school, and we're moving from the research paper. We're getting past that now, and we're moving into maybe a more routine type assignment situation. So there's going to be three assignments that you get each week that should take roughly half an hour or so, maybe less. It's going to be a USA test prep assignment. There's going to be three components to it. There'll be questions, there'll be a video, and there'll be a game. It should be really, really easy for you guys to just knock out. There's going to be a Newsela assignment. So you log into Newsela, and there should be an assignment there for you. You read an article, and then there's questions to answer about it. And then the writing prompt, which you see down below, which I posted earlier. So those three assignment types, you knock those out each week, and we're gonna kind of focus on some specific skills or standards each week to go over. Now this week we're going to talk about author's purpose. So the purpose that an author has for writing a piece, for writing it in the way that they do, that kind of thing. So I got an article here from KMBC 9 News. Some KU School of Medicine doctorate students to graduate early to help COVID-19 fight. Now, obviously, one way to determine the author's purpose is by looking what type of writing it is. Okay, so what we have here is a news report. Okay, so what might the purpose of this be? Well, to inform, of course, right? So that's the most obvious. The author's purpose is to inform, and we know that because of the medium. That's a word for you to remember. The medium of their writing is a news report. Second thing is, as we read through this short article, we're going to try to pick up on words that might make us make us pause and think, okay, they're using this word or these words or these phrases often. Maybe there's a reason behind that. So let's just read it really quick. It's pretty short, so bear with me here. The University of Kansas made a major announcement regarding its medical students Friday morning. Students studying to be doctors who have completed all or most of their courses and who have been matched with a hospital for residency will be allowed to volunteer graduate early. After graduation, those students will be sent to hospitals in need to help with the COVID-19 surge. All of the students involved are fourth-year medical students. The program, called the Kansas Pandemic Volunteer Healthcare Workforce, includes around 50 students who have volunteered. Officials said Friday morning that this program will allow the new doctors to work with a special permit within the state of Kansas immediately to help with the coronavirus response. Officials said help is especially needed in rural hospitals already dealing with a shortage of healthcare workers. During a news conference, officials said Dr. John Alley, an assistant professor at the KU Medical School of Medicine and a major with the Kansas National Guard, will oversee the operation of the program and will help with the placement of the new doctors. Okay, what stands out to me, and maybe did or didn't stand out to you, was the word officials, because this author used it 1, 2, 3 times. Right there, boom, chicka, boom. Okay, so then I'm looking at, and I'm talking. We know we're talking about doctors, right? So that's an authoritative role in society. They have an authority. They tell people how to take care of themselves. But then also you've got this special permit within the state of Kansas. So there's all this authority, this not necessarily regality, but like all of these people who are in charge, who have power, or at least some kind of power, officials, state of Kansas officials. This guy's an assistant professor, but a major within the Kansas National Guard. Okay, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a lot of authority. Boom, this author is pushing that this is a good thing, that the government, that the people in charge are behind it. Okay, so what I'm seeing there is, it looks like the author's purpose is to inform us that the people in charge are making movements, right, to help fight COVID-19. That would reassure a community, right? This KMBC 9 News is news for our community, right? people in Florida aren't reading KMBC9 News. So we look at our audience, right? We look at the author. They're talking about the authority is making moves to help fight coronavirus. Well, that's going to comfort the audience, right? So one of the author's purposes may very well be to comfort and educate and help alleviate some of the concerns within the community. Okay, so we're looking at the medium, right? This is a news report. We're looking at the audience and some of the words that we're seeing in here, how they're showing that the authority is moving. So I see that maybe they're trying to comfort people. But then also the thing that we consider is some cultural or historical context. Okay, so how many of you know what the Kansas governor did that was kind of unprecedented recently? So the Kansas governor pretty early on said schools in the whole state of Kansas are canceled, right? They're closed, right? So she shut down all of the schools, which is kind of crazy. Missouri hasn't done that yet, at least as far as the timeline of this video. They haven't. Our governor, he hasn't shut down the schools. Well, she did. She just shut them all down. Nobody can go back to school. And that's a big deal, okay? So then this article comes out a couple weeks later, and they're saying that, okay, so the Kansas state governor said schools are closed, and now this Kansas university is saying, you know what, we're graduating people early, we're on this. Okay, what is the state of Kansas doing? This author of this news article is showing us the state of Kansas is making moves. Now, you wouldn't know that last part unless you knew kind of what was happening in the cultural context. Now, this is a higher level thought. Okay, so some of you have already checked out of this video, but if you're still with me, we're digging deeper here with this concept of an author's purpose. Writing doesn't happen in a bubble, right? People write, especially news, but even fiction, even stories, short stories, novels. They write in response to what's happening in society. Now, some writings are purely creative, but a lot of writing is political. It has ulterior motives. It has underlying meanings, and people write in response to things that happen in society. And so, with that in mind, if you think about what is happening culturally or historically around the time that a piece is written, so like this article was written April 3rd, 2020, well, what is happening in the world on April 3rd, 2020, the coronavirus, they're writing, and that's going to inform, that's going to teach us about what they thought about a specific topic in light of the context. Now, that's a high-level thought. But writing happens in response to what might be happening in the real world, whether it's a news report or maybe it's just a novel that was written. And there's lots of examples. Animal Farm was a novel that maybe you guys read freshman year in response to communism at the time. There's lots of other ones that we could mention. But yeah, that's author's purpose. That is the shallow all the way to the deep. Deeper meanings of it behind it. And so, man, if you have questions, let me know. But the assignments should be pretty easy. They should be pretty shallow. I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.